Mabel has just gone down for her nap, so I'm going to try and film this as quickly. Blimey, that was scary. So I'm going to try and film this as quickly as possible before she wakes up. Also, I'm going to talk quite quietly because I don't want to wake her up. Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is a very quick setup. I forgot all of my material for filming, which was really annoying. But anyway, I thought we could have a really calm, chill, sit down, chatty video where I talk to you about all the books that I'm kind of excited about that are coming out this year. Hang on, I'm not blimmin' comfortable. Of course, these books I haven't read yet, so I won't be able to... I won't be able to tell you much about them because I obviously haven't read them, and I enjoy going into my books knowing very little about the books. I like to have little to no knowledge about what the book is about. I like to go in pretty blind, so I won't be able to tell you much about these books, but I just thought it would be nice. A bloody phone's gone off. Hello? Well, I'm not getting that, it's downstairs and this isn't my house, so I'm not going to answer the phone. Back to what I was saying. I just thought it would be nice for you guys, that way you also know what kind of books are coming out this year and you can also look forward to them with me. I finished reading Ninth House last week and it has gone up. You'll have seen me talk about it, hopefully if you watch all of my videos. You will have seen me talk about it in my last video where I read popular book talk videos where I read popular book talk books. Ninth House was one of them and I ended up really enjoying it, which was quite a surprise. So I would really like to now continue with the sequel, which is Hellbent. That also came out this year. It was part of the reason for why I included it in my last video, because I knew that the sequel was coming out, and so for people who were still kind of undecided as to whether to pick the book up, I thought it was a good one to include, and I ended up really enjoying it. So I will definitely be reading Hellbent, and I believe in this one, minor spoilers if you haven't read Ninth House, so just skip ahead like 30 seconds, but I believe in this one Alex and the rest of the team are heading to hell to bring back Darlington, so I'm excited for it. Brilliant. Another one that I'm excited about is I think it's called Happy Place by Emily Henry. This is her newest romance novel book thing. I've only read People We Meet on Vacation by her and I loved it, which is quite a compliment from me, seeing as I'm not a big fan of romance, but I have found that recently I've been enjoying reading a lot of some sort of like rom-com style books. I'm really excited for this one. I've only read one of her books, as I say, but I already have both of her other books. I think she's only written 3 so far. I have Beach Read and Book Lovers, and the reason I haven't yet read them is because they're those kind of books where I'm kind of thinking that they're going to be 5 stars and I'm going to absolutely love them, so I'm saving them for a later date where I can like really appreciate them, which probably means that they're going to live on my shelves for a really long time and I'm not going to pick them up until a couple of years have passed. But even though I haven't read the other books, she's a really exciting author and she's one that I'm keeping an eye on, and I'm very excited to read her newest release, which I think it actually comes out this month as well, so there you go. What other ones? I'm looking at my Goodreads as we chat. This is a very chilled, relaxed video. Another one that is coming out this year is called In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. I have read The House in the Cerulean Sea by him, and I also read Under the Whispering Door. He writes cozy fantasy, which I have found out that I kind of just need more of in my life. I think everyone needs more of that in their lives, and it's always just heartwarming, wholesome content, and they're just feel good books, and so I look forward to anything that he's going to bring out. I know that he does have other books out other than the 2 that I've read, and I haven't gotten around to them yet. I would like to read more by him. I absolutely loved The House in the Cerulean Sea. I read it twice. I didn't love Under the Whispering Door as much. I was a little let down. I think if you've read The House in the Cerulean Sea and if you are someone who really loved it, then I think you probably might have high expectations going into Under the Whispering Door, and unfortunately they just didn't live up to my expectations. I think no matter what, I was going to compare it to The House in the Cerulean Sea, and it didn't quite hit the mark for me. But I have high hopes for this one. I don't know what the hell it is about. I think this is going to be another cozy fantasy. The cover actually looks really, really cool. Another one that I'm excited about, and it makes no sense, but I'm excited to read How to Sell a Haunted House, which is Grady Hendrix's newest release. I think that's a pen name. It's a very cool pen name, if it is. If it's his real name, wow, that's quite a cool name. I know of Grady Hendrix, and I've seen quite a few of his different books, and they really catch my eye every time, and I'm really intrigued, and I've been meaning to pick up one of his books for quite a while, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet, but I want to. Ooh, I hear a puppy stirring. No, she's snoring again. She was just rolling over. Notably, what was it called? My Best Friend's Exorcism? I keep seeing that one, and I'm very interested in picking it up. I think it's also one of those books that has loads of different kind of media in it. So he has like newspaper clippings and maybe diary entries or other interesting things. What the hell was that? Okay, I haven't read it once again. But yeah, it's one that I really want to pick up, that one, and there was another one that I saw by him that I was interested in. Anyway, he's just an author that has been catching my eye recently, and even though I haven't read anything by him just yet, I like the look of his newest release. Okay, it's kind of the same case for this author, but Samantha Shannon, who wrote The Priory of the Orange Tree, which was a standalone fantasy. I know that it's about a queendom and about dragons and about like this epic battle. It has been on my shelves for, I want to say a solid 3 years. My puppy is snoring in the background. I want to say a solid 3 years, and I haven't picked it up yet. I've tried twice, but it's another one of those books where I'm kind of thinking, oh, this is going to be a 5 stars. I have to pick it up at the right time. I can't just pick it up at any point. So, you know, I have to be in the right headspace. So I'm saving it for I don't know what really, but I haven't gotten around to it. And I am very excited about it. And I think it's going to be really good because it has received a lot of very good, like positive feedback. I know that it is quite slow paced, and I think that was the main sort of negative that I've heard people say about it. And I know that she's also bringing out another book called A Day of Fallen Night, which is apparently going to be part of a series, because I'm seeing that it's part of the series called The Roots of Chaos. It says number 0, which I don't understand how it can be number 0. It isn't a sequel, so The Priory of the Orange Tree is still going to be a standalone. However, this one is going to take place in the same world as her previous book, which I think will be great. So if you really enjoyed The Priory of the Orange Tree and you want to know more about that world, keep an eye out for this one. I think it's going to be one to look forward to. One that I'm super excited about is Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert, which, if you don't know, and I would be very surprised if you didn't, but Talia Hibbert is the author of the Brown Sisters trilogy, which again kind of took the internet, or booktube and BookTok and so on and so forth, by storm. I had never really been at that point. I had never really read that much romance. I hate to admit it, I was a bit of a snob. I was kind of like, if you read romance, ew. Now I've completely changed my mind, and I don't know why I thought that. And so I thought that romance was for like girly girls. But now I realise that romance is for everyone. It is fun and lighthearted, and it's good. Read what makes you happy. Anyway, I kind of went off on a different tangent there, but yeah, I read her series and I did not expect to enjoy it at all. I kind of went into it very much thinking, oh, I'm not going to enjoy this, but I'll just read it because everyone's talking about it. And even people who don't enjoy romance keep reading this and saying how much they enjoy it. So I'm going to read it to kind of prove them wrong, I guess. I think that's the mindset I went in with, which is a very silly mindset. I read it and god dang, it was good. I had so much fun. I loved Get a Life, Chloe Brown. That was my favourite one. The other ones were fine. There are a lot of cars going by. I hope you can't hear them because it would be very distracting. But anyway, it would kind of ruin my whole cozy ambience. Yeah, it was great. I had so much fun. And then I did kind of binge read the series. I didn't enjoy the others as much. I'm excited for a new book by her because she's a good writer. I really like her characters. I think that she has a wonderful way of bringing them to life. I also love the inclusivity that she brings into her books. Anyway, her newest book is coming out. I'm very excited. It doesn't have anything to do with the Brown sisters, so you were looking forward to that. I'm sorry to disappoint. I also know that the Brown sisters trilogy, I know that that wasn't her only work. Wait, I know that the Brown sisters trilogy weren't the only books that she brought out. I know that she has done others. Those are the only ones I've read. So another one that is kind of exciting and I wasn't expecting is The Kind Worth Saving, which is a sequel to The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. I have talked about this book a lot and I will probably continue to talk about it a lot. I've read the book twice. The first time around was obviously better because I didn't see the plot, like the twists and everything coming. The second time was still good and I've recommended it a lot because it is one of those thrillers that actually managed to, I spat a little bit, sorry, that actually managed to surprise me, and I didn't see a lot of the twists coming, which I've read a lot of thrillers, so not a lot of thrillers managed to catch me out like that anymore. It was so good. So good. I highly recommend. Unfortunately though, it is his best work, so if you've never read Peter Swanson and you're interested, either read some of his other books first and then read this one, or read this one and then give up because none of his other books are as good. Unfortunately, I've read quite a few and I haven't enjoyed any of them. And it's so disappointing because basically The Kind Worth Killing was a one-hit wonder. So I'm interested to see though if he manages to keep up with the first book. Like I feel like it's quite risky what he's trying to do. The first book was so good, so bringing out a sequel is risky. People are going to have high expectations, but I'm interested to see what goes on as well because I don't really know how you can continue this series. But just to give you a little bit of a taste, the first book is about Lily and I forgot his name. We'll call him Bob for the purpose of this video, but I can't remember what he is actually called. Lily and Bob. And Lily and Bob meet in an airport. They're about to get the same flight. I believe their flight is delayed. And so they meet at the airport bar and start chatting. And very soon, Bob reveals that he is possibly going to be getting a divorce because he has found out that his wife is cheating on him. And this conversation leads to them having an agreement where Lily is going to help Bob murder his wife because essentially if they divorce then his wife gets half of his fortune and that's not happening. So they have this whole conversation and that is how you start the book. It's based on Strangers on a Train by Patricia Highsmith. So if this plot sounds slightly familiar to you, that's why. And I think it was done really, really well. As I say, a twist would happen and I would be like, what the hell? And I didn't think that there would be any other twists after that, but they kept on coming. I'm very excited to see what happens in The Kind Worth Saving. I saw that Jessie Q Sutanto is bringing out a new book, which is called Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers. So I've talked about her as well in my videos previously. I read Dial A for Aunties by her and I recently found out that there was a sequel to that. I had no clue. I haven't yet read it, but I've talked about her in the past previously. I did say how if you're going to pick up Dial A for Aunties, be aware that everything is ridiculous. It's insanely ridiculous, but the artists are so much fun. And yeah, I would be interested to kind of give her a go again. So that one is in my radar. On my radar? In my radar. Another one that's caught my eye, and I'm very, very, very skeptical about it, but it is, what's it called? The Only One Left by Riley Sager. Is it Riley Sager or Riley Sager? Riley Sager. I believe it's Riley Sager. Now, I have already read two or three books by the author. None of them have been objectively good, with respect. I can hear a puppy moving. Might have to dash off. Nope, she's just rolling over again. Yeah, I read, what is it called? Home Before Dark by the author, and I've read it twice. And I really like the vibes in it because it's a sort of haunted house kind of type deal. But objectively, I know that it wasn't good. And then any other book that I've read by him, I have not enjoyed. I kind of want to try this one. I know that he's brought out other books since Home Before Dark, and I have not felt the need to pick any of them up because I know, like, I've seen other people review them, and what I've heard has been very, very negative, and it just doesn't make me want to read them. However, for some reason, I don't know what it is about this book. I think maybe I'm being superficial. I think it could be the cover that is drawing me in for some reason, because I haven't even read what the plot is. I don't know what it's about. I've no clue. But it's calling to me. I kind of want to try it. So maybe I will be picking that one up. If I do, it will be a last chance for the author. He hasn't written any other good books that I know of. I saw this book, and I believe it came out this year, or it's coming out this year, called Before We Were Innocent by Ella Berman. I haven't read anything by Ella Berman. I've never heard of her before, but this one just kind of popped up on my Goodreads because I was looking at new releases this year on Goodreads, and it popped up. I really like the cover. I don't know why. Something about that cover is doing it for me. And then I read the first line to the synopsis. Is synopsis the right word? You know what I mean. It's calling out to me. There's like this kind of magnet feeling where we're just... Does that make any sense? And the synopsis says, a summer in Greece for three best friends ends in the unthinkable when only two return home in this new novel from Ella Berman. Well, I'm sucked right in there, I am, love. So I'm probably going to give that one a go as well. And I thought I'd let you guys know about it. I'm worried that you can hear when it knocks against things and stuff. So hopefully that's not the case. If it is, I'm really, really sorry. Okay, next one I wanted to talk about was Dark Corners by Megan Golden. So I'm sure you're used to me not being able to talk by now, but God, it's annoying. Megan Golden is the author of... I need a break. I got pins and needles in my leg. My hip. Megan Golden is the author of The Night Swim, which I think I read in 2020, and I really, really enjoyed it. It has been a while, so excuse me for any discrepancies. Oh, bloody hell. Bird just flew right over my head. Do excuse me if I get anything wrong, but I read it a while ago. Sorry, just took a break to go check on the puppy. She is still, in fact, asleep. I was talking about The Night Swim by Megan Golden. Okay, I believe in this book, the main character, has a true crime podcast which covers different trials that are going on in the area or ongoing investigations and stuff like that, and she just gives kind of live coverage of what is happening. Alright, I just had to very quickly run downstairs to check on Mabel because I could hear her moving, so I've just taken her out to go to the bathroom and I think I probably only have about 5 minutes left of her nap time, so I'm going to very quickly wrap up this video. I did say it's going to be very brief because I only have a very limited amount of time to film it. It appears to be a sequel. I guess that it's going to be Rachel Crowell covering a different trial. I don't know. Shall I look? Do you want to know? Ooh, this sounds exciting. Let me read the kind of summary for you. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but Terence Bailey is about to be released from prison for breaking and entering, though investigators have long suspected him in the murders of 6 women. As his freedom approaches, Bailey gets a surprise visit from Madison Logan. I don't know who the hell Rachel Crowell is. Apparently Bailey's the main character. Anyway, Bailey gets a surprise visit from Madison Logan, a hot young influencer with a huge social media following. Hours later, Madison disappears and police suspect she's been kidnapped, or worse. Dun dun dun. Is Madison's disappearance connected to her visit to Bailey? Why was she visiting him in the first place? When they hit a wall in the investigation, the FBI reluctantly asks for Rachel's help in finding the missing influencer. Interesting. That sounds exciting. So that's another one that I'm going to be keeping my eye out for this year, and I'm looking forward to reading. So there you go. That's the video. I know that it's very, very short. I know that the information is very limited and maybe not as helpful as I would hope. If all goes well, it might have helped you find your next read. Maybe you are also now excited about some of these books, and maybe you didn't know that some of these books were coming out, and now that you know, you can have something to look forward to. That would be the best case scenario. Anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching my videos. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, don't hesitate to leave a like and a comment. You know the spiel. I don't have to tell you. You can also subscribe if you want to. You don't have to, but you can. I wanted it to be cozy. It's a very rainy day here, and I just thought I'd throw on my comfortable, I mean, this isn't mine, this is my mother's, but a comfortable little cardi, and we could just chat about books, and I will do a better, more prepared video for next week. Last thing that I wanted to say is I am going to be vlogging whilst I'm at my parents', so if you're interested in seeing the vlog, keep an eye out for it. It might go up before this, who knows. If it does, I will leave a link somewhere to it. I think it's here. Okay, anyway. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye! Take care!